were not doing as much damage as before. They weren't even dispelling the clones. Haku didn't know that Naruto had enforced them with chakra. I have to destroy those clones, he thought. It was only for a fleeting moment, but Naruto and his clones caught it. It all happened in slow motion. Haku splashed through the wall and swung around a Senbon, but Naruto's clones were busy maintaining the wall, so they weren't able to react in time and got dispelled. Naruto himself dodged the Senbon with a hair's breadth. As soon as the wall was down, Haku flashed back into the mirror. Your defense is meager. You cannot hope to win against me. However, Naruto had come up with a way to distract Haku. Interesting technique, this is. Moves partially into spacetime, if I'm not wrong. You can move from mirror to mirror with enhanced speed. Since time is relative to speed, everything must move in slow motion for you, he smirked, hoping to throw Haku off. Sasuke gaped at the blonde. How the hell did he figure that out? Naruto had his own thoughts going. He has been maintaining these mirrors for quite a while now. His chakra reserves have to have depleted by now. Time to check. Making a snake seal, he took a deep breath. Futon, Kaze Jirai no Jutsu. A ball of wind shot towards the mirrors and exploded with great force upon contact. Naruto was pleased to see the results. There was a crack. A big one. Sasuke's jaw dropped even further. How did it crack? My fireball couldn't even scratch it. Naruto decided to ignore him for the moment. However, Haku reformed the mirror and continued with his assault, this time, aiming at Naruto's vital spots. Naruto smirked and prepared to blow the Senbon away. He summoned 2 clones to guard his back, however, one immediately got dispelled, leaving him open to attack. And since Naruto was in the middle of performing a jutsu, he couldn't make any more clones. Senbon raced towards his unguarded side, and he prepared to duck in response to his danger sense. Sasuke saw how confident Naruto was in this situation. How he never showed any fear, instead opting to instill fear into his opponent's mind, hoping to instill doubt. Seeing Naruto smirk, Sasuke had no doubt the blonde had a plan and it would work. However, seeing Senbon racing towards Naruto's unguarded side, something moved in him. He was able to see them in slow motion. He could see everything with crystal clarity, and he knew what to do. He jumped between the Senbon and Naruto, taking the full force of them. Naruto turned around and his eyes widened on seeing Sasuke take the attack. Not dropping his guard, he spoke with clenched teeth. What the hell was that, Sasuke? Why did you do that? Sasuke was losing consciousness fast, so he spoke, I don't know. My body just moved on its own. My brother is still out there somewhere. Don't die, Naruto. With that, he fell unconscious. Naruto couldn't check if Sasuke was really dead without dropping his guard, so he was forced to assume the worst-case scenario. Sasuke was likely close to death, or was already dead. Unimaginable anger washed over him, making him tremble slightly. Unknown to him, a layer of extremely dense orange chakra began to cover him. Kurama's voice rang out in his head, Naruto. You are drawing on my chakra in your anger. Calm down, or you'll be nothing more than a berserker. Naruto argued back, he killed Sasuke. How do you not expect me to get angry? Kurama snarled, this is not the time to lose your mind, Naruto. I did not train you to be so weak against your emotions. Control them, flow with them in such a way that they become your weapon against your enemy. The anger in Kurama's voice snapped him out of his anger. Only then he noticed that Haku was still throwing Senbon at him, but an orange cloak prevented them from making contact with his skin. Kurama's chakra, he realized. XXXXXXX Zabuza and Kakashi both halted at the feeling of the strange chakra. What is that chakra? It's too strong to be Kakashi, Zabuza thought, perplexed at the new presence. However, Kakashi perfectly recognized the chakra. This is bad. I need to end this fast in case the seal is loosened. Turning to Zabuza, he spoke, we're both busy men, Zabuza. How about we use one last move, winner take all, you know? Zabuza grinned under his bandages, sounds interesting. The faster I kill you, the faster I get paid. XXXXXXX Naruto shook his head and refocused on Haku, who was still throwing his sunban. Immediately, a new plan began to form in his mind. Kurama's slowly drawing his chakra back into the seal, which means I won't be protected for long. That hunter nin is insanely fast, but not that fast that it can't be tracked by me if my danger sense remains activated, or Sasuke's Sharingan, which, if I'm not mistaken, allowed him to see the path of the sunban and jumped to protect me. There's no time for exploding tags as well. I have to time it perfectly. If I'm late for even a single moment, he will see through my plan. Naruto finished planning and put it in motion. He took out a kunai, put his Hiraishin formula on it and threw it on the ground, at the base of one of the mirrors. He repeated this until the kunai were in a hexagonal pattern. Then he flashed. Haku was honestly perplexed at what Naruto was trying to do. Those kunai, even if they were wrapped with an explosive tag, would not damage his mirrors. But he would have to finish this quickly, his chakra was starting to get dangerously low. He doubled his attacks on Naruto, who seemed to be waiting for the attacks to hit him. At the last moment, he seemingly disappeared. Haku's eyes widened as he saw that Naruto was now at a position opposite to his previous position. The scary part was, Haku didn't even see him move. A blue flash was all he saw. Recovering, he attacked Naruto at his new position, who flashed away again. This continued for a few more times before Haku decided to end it. His chakra was almost exhausted, so he would have to step out and attack Naruto's back as fast as he could. Naruto was flashing and dodging the sunban with ease due to the slow perception given to him by his danger sense coupled with the speed of Hiraishin. He was playing the waiting game. He knew Haku was close to getting exhausted and he would attack Naruto's back because he no longer had the chakra for a direct confrontation with Naruto, who had yet to feel a drain on his reserves. Sure enough, his danger sense alerted him that the hunter nin was exiting a mirror from behind him, attacking his back. This was what he was waiting for. He immediately flashed away to another kunai to his side, watching with satisfaction how the hunter nin missed him, toppling forward. That was the moment he struck. Naruto's chakra was incredibly dense, so it augmented his physical traits greatly. He was faster, stronger, agile than majority people of his age. So when Naruto directed his chakra and condensed it into his fist, the force was something that would have sent someone of his size flying a dozen meters away. His fist made perfect contact with the hunter nin's cheek. Coupled with the momentum of his flash step, Naruto slammed Haku into the mirror, breaking it like it was nothing more than a hard sheet of paper. Haku was sent flying back from the force of the fist, all his mirrors shattered. He could not believe Naruto was this strong. To have a way to avoid his sunban within the dome, chakra dense enough to crack his mirrors. He was pretty sure his jaw was cracked, although it would have been broken if not for his mask, which was now shattered. It was a miracle he wasn't knocked out. Naruto looked with shock at the hunter nin who was now revealed to be Haku. He couldn't help but feel hurt at how a person who he thought understood what Naruto stood for so perfectly would hurt his comrade. Haku gazed at Naruto with a blank expression. Why won't you kill me, when I've killed your friend? Naruto turned to look at Sasuke, who resembled more a pincushion than a human. A brief surge of anger hit him, causing him to punch Haku straight in the gut. The force behind the hit knocked Haku down to his knees, but he knew Naruto had held back. Fighting the pain, he spoke, was he not an important person to you? Naruto thought back to his meeting with Haku in the forest, where Haku had told him how had an important person, and how he would protect him. Zabuza's your important person, isn't he? He asked softly. Though he already knew the answer. Haku nodded in agreement. He then proceeded to tell him how he had important people other than Zabuza a long time ago. How his father tried to kill his mother, how he tried to kill Haku because of his bloodline. Haku had killed his own father in defense. He had suffered through the most terrible feeling there was, the feeling that no one wanted you. Then Zabuza found him, raised him. Haku felt like he was Zabuza's most trusted tool. Please kill me. XXXXXXX Zabuza had Kakashi where he wanted him. Kakashi had no way of knowing where Zabuza was, but Zabuza was aware of everything that Kakashi was doing. Or so he thought. Kakashi apparently had another trick up his sleeve. He summoned his Ninken had tracked Zabuza through the mist. The dogs had trapped Zabuza in his place, allowing Kakashi the time to execute his one original move, the lightning cutter. Raikiri. He held electricity in his hands, causing Zabuza's eyes to widen at the sheer amount of chakra Kakashi was exuding. That thing can cut through anything. Kakashi ran at Zabuza, intent on finishing this once and for all. Naruto found this so wrong, he just wanted to leave Haku alone. But it was evident, the pain that Haku carried. Zabuza was most like dead now, which meant Haku had no one left in the world. Again. Just kill him, Naruto, if only to spare him the pain, Kurama's voice came through. Naruto gripped his kunai so tightly that his knuckle had turned white. Nevertheless, he prepared himself. He channeled pure, wind chakra through his kunai, causing it to resemble a blue dagger. May you find peace in your death, Haku, he thought as he flash-stepped to Haku, his kunai going for his heart. However, there is a saying that you always know when the people important to you are in danger. Perhaps that was the reason that Haku was able to grab Naruto's arm in mid-swing. Naruto was more than shocked, he was stupefied. How the hell did Haku grab his arm? It was then he paid attention to his senses. Kakashi's chakra had taken the form of pure electricity. Wait, if Kakashi-sensei is still using jutsu, then that means Zabuza is still alive. As is to confirm his thoughts, Haku spoke, "Sorry Naruto-kun, but I can't die just yet." Making some one-handed seals, he disappeared in a shunshin. Damn it! Naruto cursed before he too flash-stepped to Kakashi's location, just in time to see Haku getting impaled by Kakashi, whose hand was coated in electricity. Zabuza took this opportunity to swing his blade at Kakashi, who jumped back. Closing Haku's eyes, he proceeded to brutally disable Zabuza's arms by piercing them with kunai. Well, it seems the demon of the mist is nothing more than a failure. All of them turned to face the owner of the voice, who was revealed to be a rather short man. "Sorry Zabuza, but you die here. You see, hiring official ninjas costs a lot of money, so I hired a missing ninja like you. If you ninja had killed each other, it would have saved me the trouble and the money." A nasty smirk crossed Gato's face. "If you ask me, you're nothing more than a cute devil." One of the thugs called them out, "Hey, don't think you bastards are off the hook. You just killed our only source of revenue. Now we will have to attack the town and steal all the valuables." The other thugs roared their agreement. Naruto turned to Kakashi, "Sensei, do you have any way to take care of them all?" Kakashi shook his head, an angry sigh escaping his lips. "No. I used up too much of my chakra." Naruto grit his teeth. "I could end this in mere moments, but I risk exposing the flying thunder god, damn it." He took a glance towards Sakura and Tazuna. Sakura had her head buried in Sasuke's chest and was sobbing her heart out. Just seeing Sasuke's body lying there unmoving caused his anger to resurface. Gritting his teeth, he turned to Kakashi. "Kakashi-sensei, I want you to go back." Kakashi stared at Naruto, trying to figure what his student was up to. "Tazuna-san is going to see it anyway, but please tell him not to mention it in front of our team. And prevent Sakura from gazing ahead. Block her view if you have to," he said with utmost seriousness. Kakashi's eyes widened. "Naruto, don't tell me you are going to use dash." "Yes," Naruto cut him off sharply. "Now back off," he almost commanded him. Kakashi though, only nodded and backed away, intent on following Naruto's instructions. If Naruto didn't want his team to know of his ace in the hole just yet, he would respect that. But Tazuna needed to be warned to keep quiet. After Kakashi backed away, Naruto faced the thugs, a serious look on his face. One of the thugs laughed. "Oh, you think you can stop us alone, brat?" Another one spoke up. "Hell, at this point, even just one of us would be able to take you out." The thugs laughed at that. Heart pounding, he tried to not let his nervousness show. He was about to end the lives of almost 100 people. Steeling himself, he took out a kunai and put his formula onto it. The thugs noticed it and laughed even harder. "Brat, you can't even take one of us down with that." However, Naruto ignored that and threw the kunai. "Ninpo, kunai kage bunshin no jutsu." The one kunai became hundreds and were scattered on the ground between Naruto and the thugs. The one standing on the front snorted, "Looks like you missed, kid." They charged with a roar after that, each one having some weapon with them. Naruto took two of his kunai in his hand and channeled wind chakra, making them look like a blue dagger. He took a stance and a deep breath and waited for all the thugs to enter the area of the marked kunai. When they did, he unknowingly said the phrase his father was feared for, "I'll end this in a flash." What followed was a total massacre. Kakashi's eyes were blown wide after hearing Naruto speak. He only saw blue flashes, too fast for his Sharingan to keep track of. Naruto went into a trance as he flashed again and again through the thugs like a hot knife through butter. He wasn't even thinking, his body was moving by instinct alone as all the thugs were taken down in less than 5 seconds. He was going so fast that not even the droplets of blood were fast enough to land on him. Kakashi didn't know what to think or feel as he saw his student accomplish a feat that no one but his sensei could do. On one hand, he felt like his chest was going to burst with how much proud the man was of his student. On the other hand, he felt somber that Naruto already had so many deaths on his hands. So he settled for middle ground, he just relaxed as much as he could, knowing it was all over. He then turned to Tazuna to relay Naruto's words. Naruto stood in the middle of it all, not even covered by blood. He was in a haze. So many people died by his hand in just one day alone. Even though his chakra reserves were only depleted by a quarter, he felt more exhausted than ever. His legs lost the strength to remain standing and he sank to his feet, a blank expression on his face. He didn't know what to feel except so much guilt. Tazuna saw Naruto standing in front of all the thugs, no sign of fear on his face. But fear had gripped his heart, he almost expected Naruto to get killed and almost shouted at the boy to come back, but before he could do that, Naruto disappeared in a blue flash. Tazuna witnessed with growing horror how Naruto annihilate all the thugs with seemingly no effort. In just 5 seconds, all of Gato's thugs were dead, blood spilling from various places on their bodies. He almost didn't hear Kakashi call his name. "Tazuna-san," Kakashi called out to the shell-shocked man. Tazuna turned his head to face Kakashi, who spoke in a low whisper, "Please listen to me. You must keep quiet about what you saw. No one, is to know that Naruto killed them all." Kakashi struggled for the right word. He looked down to see Sakura still sobbing over Sasuke. For once, Kakashi was glad for Sakura's obsession with Sasuke. He continued speaking, "Not even Sakura is to know." He saw Tazuna about to protest, so he glared at him, hard. He kept glaring at the man until he agreed. He then turned around and slowly walked, weaving his feet between the bodies until he reached Naruto. He knelt down beside the boy, who now had silent tears streaming down his face, finally realizing the weight of what he just did. Kakashi put his hand on Naruto's shoulder and spoke in a soft voice, "It's okay, Naruto. It's okay to feel like what you are feeling right now after what you just did. I am surprised though, that you didn't puke your guts out, but I would be more shocked to see no remorse on your face. Want to talk about it?" Naruto turned his teary eyes to Kakashi, "I feel so guilty. I am trying to convince myself that I did it to keep Tazuna and his family safe. That they would have killed us in an instant and won't think twice about it. I feel like a monster." Naruto was full on sobbing by now, sinking until he was sitting between his legs. Kakashi nodded, "The first time is never easy. Everyone thinks the same thing after their first kill, that they are too cruel to have taken another's life. But as long as you're capable of feeling remorse for your actions, you haven't lost your humanity. We are shinobi, and on missions we have to kill to protect those who can't protect themselves." Kakashi put his fingers on Naruto's chin and gently made him face him, but taking the life of a criminal who would kill innocent people without a second thought is not murder. Think of it like this, if we don't do our job right now, the next ones dying won't be the criminals, but their victims. Naruto's guilt had somewhat subsided after Kakashi's consoling. Kurama too had whispered some words of comfort, but coming from a demon, they were more along the likes of "you did good, they deserved it" and whatnot. He wiped his tears off and stood up with the help of Kakashi. A gasp from Sakura caught their attention. Both of them turned around and both of them choked on seeing Sasuke sitting up. He was in pain, judging from his face, but nonetheless, alive. Naruto gave a small smile at that. A majority of his guilt lessened at the fact that Sasuke's death wasn't on his hands. Kakashi gave a big sigh of relief. Thank God, he's alive. Sasuke opened his eyes with much difficulty and saw a mop of pink hair on his chest. He groaned, "Get off, Sakura. It hurts." Sakura gasped and sat up, relieved, tears flowing. "Sasuke-kun, you're alive." Sasuke sat up with Tazuna and Sakura's help, and his eyes widened when he saw the amount of bodies on the bridge, with Naruto and Kakashi standing in the middle of it. His eyes widened. What happened? Naruto and Kakashi were holding their breath, nervous because they didn't know how much Sasuke had seen or heard. However, when Sasuke asked what happened, Naruto practically melted in relief. Naruto smoothly told a lie. Well, Zabuza really lived up to his title of the Demon of the Mist. It was a slaughter, man. Sasuke narrowed his eyes, suspecting Naruto was lying. However, when Kakashi supported his claim, Sasuke let the suspicion leave. The sound of rapid footsteps caught their attention. Turning around, Kakashi and Naruto saw the citizens of Wave. Inari quickly ran up to Naruto. "Nisan. What happened here? Is everyone alright? Are you alright?" Chuckling tiredly, Naruto fondly riffled Inari's hair. "Everyone is alright, Inari. Though I do need to lie down a bit." Inari then saw the scene of slaughter for the first time. His eyes widened and he turned to Naruto. What happened to all of them? Thankfully, Kakashi saved Naruto from answering. They were all killed by Zabuza. You should be thankful to him. Inari got confused, but isn't that the guy who was trying to kill Gigi? Naruto took a deep breath and let it out. A story for another time, Inari. Right now, we need to rest. All of us do.